Hello everyone, welcome back. This is lecture 1, class 9, subject English. In this lecture, we are going to discuss one new chapter of Beehive, that is chapter number 6, My Childhood. Now, in this lecture, we are going to have a look on two things related to this chapter, that is the introduction of the chapter and then the deep explanation of the same. Now let's start with the introduction of this chapter, that is My Childhood. My Childhood summary deals with the famous biography Wings of Fire of the celebrated Indian APJ Abdul Kalam. So this chapter deals with the famous biography, that is Wings of Fire. So this is actually an extract taken from the biography of APJ Abdul Kalam, and the name of the biography is Wings of Fire. My Childhood refers to a section in this book. This section or chapter talks about the early days of Kalam. He shares with us his childhood days, his memories, and how did he overcome his problems, adversities, and how did he turn out to be a source of inspiration for everyone. Furthermore, the chapter gives us an idea of how the childhood of Abdul Kalam prepared him to become a successful scientist and president in the future. So this chapter gives us an idea that how his childhood, what role does his childhood play in his success and to achieve his goals. Much has to do with his upbringing, which Kalam discusses in this section from Wings of Fire. Moreover, Kalam tells us about his parents and siblings here. He also mentions the important role of his friends in his life. In short, one can say that in this chapter, that is My Childhood, Kalam mentions everything that had an impact on his life. These things shaped him into the successful man he became in the future. Now, let's start with the explanation of the chapter. APJ Abdul Kalam was born into a middle-class Tamil family, and his place of birth, which was Rameshwaram, is an island town in the state of Tamil Nadu in the Bay of Bengal. So, Abdul Kalam was born into a middle-class Tamil family, and which place was his place of birth? Rameshwaram. Today, we know this state as Tamil Nadu, but when he was born, at that time the state was known as Madras state. APJ Abdul Kalam's father's name was Jalaluddin. APJ says that his father was not very rich. He did not have wealth. He was not highly educated, but despite these disadvantages, He had some other qualities, that is, he was naturally very wise and was generous too. APJ's mother's name was Ashiamma. She used to help his father. She was a great support and help to him. Abdul Kalam's mother was also generous and kind-hearted. Every day she used to feed a lot of people. She fed a greater number of people from outside than the total number of the members in their family. So this was a brief character sketch of Abdul Kalam's mother. Abdul Kalam had many siblings and he describes himself that he had short height and common looks. He did not have any exceptional looks. So after describing his parents, he is describing himself like a common man. He had no exceptional looks. On the contrary, his parents were very tall and handsome. They were good looking. Abdul Kalam did not inherit their physical qualities. They were good looking, but Abdul Kalam was not that good looking as his parents. So he is saying that he did not inherit their physical qualities. Abdul Kalam's ancestral house was very old. It was built in the 19th century. It was a Pakka house which was made of bricks and limestone. It is located on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. So, his house was a Pakka house, was made of bricks like the houses of middle class families, and his house was located on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. His father was very simple, but he was strict also. He wanted to live his life in a simple way, and he used to teach his children not to waste money on unnecessary things. He says that his father used to avoid any kind of luxuries or inessential comforts. That means his father was a simple living man and did not like to waste money on the things which are not needed. He provided them all the necessary things like food, clothes and medicines. So his father was a simple middle class man and used to provide only the essential things to his children. APJ says that his parents fulfilled all his needs, whether it was any tangible thing or their love and affection. So his parents fulfilled all his basic needs. This shows that he has the quality of gratitude. Abdul Kalam is thankful to his parents for whatever they did for him. He was just 8 years old when the Second World War broke in the year 1939. So we can calculate that he was born in the year 1931. The demand for tamarind seeds increased in the market as the Second World War broke out. Abdul Kalam used to collect and sell the tamarind seeds to a provision shop located on Mosque Street, and by selling those seeds he would earn a mere sum of 1 anna, which equals 6 paise. So that is how he used to earn 6 paise, that is 1 anna. When he addresses it as a princely sum, princely sum means something very great and valuable. He is being ironic, as the amount was very mere. Though the amount was mere, but for him it was a princely sum, as it was earned by him only. At that time, this 1 anna meant a lot of money to him. Abdul Kalam's brother-in-law Jalaluddin used to tell him the stories of the ongoing World War. Later, APJ used to read the newspaper Dinamani and used to look for the news of the same stories. Rameshwaram was a very small town, far away from land. So, it was not affected by the World War in the beginning. But after some time, India had to join the war and combined with the Allied forces. Then a state of emergency was declared in the country, as India had to join the war, so the state of emergency was being declared. The first impact of World War II on the people of Rameshwaram was the cancellation of the train stoppage at the Rameshwaram station. So this was the first impact of World War II, that the halt at the Rameshwaram station was cancelled. Earlier, the train which came from India used to stop at Rameshwaram station and then went further to Dhanoskudi. But now the halt was cancelled and the train went from India to Dhanoskodi without stopping at Rameshwaram. With this, the newspaper bundle which used to come for Rameshwaram was thrown out of the moving train as it reached Rameshwaram road. Abdul Kalam's cousin Samsuddin used to distribute the newspapers in Rameshwaram. As the train stoppage was cancelled and the newspaper bundle was thrown out of the moving train, he needed someone to help him catch it. As the halt was cancelled, so his cousin needed someone to help him in the distribution of the newspapers. Abdul Kalam helped his cousin by catching the bundle and distributing the newspapers. In return, his cousin paid him a salary which was Abdul Kalam's first earning. This incident happened 50 years ago. Even now, that is, when he wrote the book, he could feel satisfied and proud of himself. For what he was feeling proud? Yes, for earning his first salary himself. Abdul Kalam says that Whenever someone earns his own money with his hard work, he feels it the same way as he did. For a child, the figure of authority is his parents, and the next figure of authority can be his teacher, a person who has authority over the child. Abdul Kalam is saying that whenever a child is born, he has some qualities which he acquires from the elders in his family. These depend upon the social status of the family and the environment at home. From his father, he inherited honesty and self-discipline, and from his mother, he inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness. His siblings also inherited these qualities from their parents. APJ had three best friends during his childhood. Their names are Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan and Shiv Prakashan. All of them belonged to a very strict Hindu Brahmin families and were ardent, that means strict followers of their religion. As Abdul Kalam was from a Muslim family, he says that during his childhood, all the children were so close to each other that they never felt they belonged to different religions. Religion was not a barrier in their friendship. There is a very famous temple in Rameshwaram, the Rameshwaram temple, and his best friend Ramananda Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the priest of this temple. When these three friends grew up, Ramananda Shastri took the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple. Arvindan started a business of transporting the pilgrims to and from the Rameshwaram temple, and Shiv Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railway. He was in charge of the catering for the railways. Whenever the Sri Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony used to take place, then Abdul Kalam's family also took part in it. They used to arrange the boats for it. They used to make a special platform on the boats on which the statue of Ram and Sita were placed and transported from the temple to the marriage site, which was in the middle of a pond named Ram Tirth. This pond was near Abdul Kalam's house. When he was growing up, he never thought that there was any difference between Hindus and Muslims, as they participated in the Hindu festivals wholeheartedly. Abdul Kalam belonged to a Muslim family. He used to wear a cap on his head which identified him as a Muslim. His friend Ramananda Shastri, who was the son of the priest of Rameshwaram temple, belonged to a Hindu Brahmin family and used to wear the sacred thread worn by Brahmins. When these children were in class 5, a new teacher came to their class. Abdul Kalam recalls an incident that what happened. This new teacher could not tolerate that a Hindu priest's son was sitting next to a Muslim boy. He told Abdul Kalam to go out and sit on the last bench, as he belonged to a lower rank of the society. Both the children felt very bad. When APJ changed his seat and went back and sat on the last bench, his friend also felt very bad. He still remembers the image of his friend Ramananda crying. It left a lifelong impression on Kalam of his friend's feelings for him. Both children went home and told their parents about this incident, and Ramananda's father, Lakshman Shastri, called the new teacher and scolded him. He told him not to kill the children's friendship by putting the venomous discrimination of caste and religion into their innocent minds. He was very clear in himself. He told the teacher, either you ask sorry for the wrong you have done or else leave the school and Rameshwaram town also. The teacher asked sorry for the mistake he had done, and due to Lakshman Shastri's determination, his thoughts about religion and caste changed. The division of society into four groups, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, was strictly followed in Rameshwaram. But his science teacher, Shiv Subramaniam Iyer, was a religious person, an orthodox Brahmin, but was a rebellious type of person. He did not believe in distinction on the basis of the caste system. He worked very hard to break these social barriers. He wanted that people of different castes should interact with each other. His wife belonged to a traditional and orthodox Brahman family. Once, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer called Abdul Kalam for dinner at his home. His wife feared that a boy from a Muslim family would make her kitchen impure. She refused to serve him food in her kitchen. But Iyer was neither upset nor angry. He himself served food to Abdul Kalam and sat down beside him to eat. His wife stood beside the kitchen door and looked at Abdul Kalam while he was having food. Abdul Kalam says that he doesn't think that she felt there was any difference in the way he was having his food or the way he was drinking water or in the way he cleaned the floor after the meal. He wants to highlight that religion does not matter as it does not alter the way in which a person eats food. When Abdul Kalam was about to leave, his teacher invited him for dinner once again. When Subramaniam saw that Abdul Kalam was a Sithant, he asked him not to be upset. He added that if he had decided to change the system to go against the norms of the society, he had to be strong and brave and confront the situation. When he visited Subramaniam Iyer's home for dinner the next week, his wife made him sit in the kitchen and served him food with her own hands. This is the change that happened. When the Second World War got over in the year 1945, India was about to get freedom, which happened in the year 1947. M.K. Gandhi, known as the father of the nation, was a crucial part of India's freedom struggle. He said that Indians would build their own India. The entire country was filled with hope and happiness. So that incident took place, and after that incident, Second World War also got over. Abdul Kalam asked his father to allow him to go to Ramanathapuram. In reply, his father told him that he knew that APJ needed to go away so that he could move ahead in life. He gave the example of a seagull which flies away in the sky all alone and does not have a nest. It means it does not have a home of its own as it keeps on flying from one place to another. So, when the Second World War got over, Abdul Kalam asked his father to go away to leave the city so that he could grow and achieve something in his life. In return, his father gave him an example of a bird, that is, seagull, which flies away in all alone and travels from one place to another. Now, your homework is that you have to read the chapter thoroughly and do the textual questions. Go through the chapter, its explanation part, and then do the textual question.